As soon as you're alone with yourself, a relative shows up. The moment silence arises within, a call, a message, a visit. As if reality itself won't let you hear your own voice. This is not a coincidence. It's a script. A script in which your close ones are tools of the system, designed to hold you back. Through them, programs of doubt, anxiety, and guilt are embedded into you. That's how the field works. You were just about to begin. You just started feeling something real awakening within you. And then, what are you doing just sitting here? You should be working. This isn't the time to daydream. What are you talking about? That's nonsense. How are you going to live like that? And suddenly you feel as if all the light inside you is no longer welcome, like you're a child again. Again guilty, again obligated. But that's the illusion. You are not guilty. You're simply starting to wake up. Why is it always the relatives? Because you don't filter them. You don't protect your field from their words. You're open. You want to be good, understanding, caring, and that's why you're vulnerable. They don't allow you silence. They're afraid you'll become better. They're afraid you'll hear yourself. Because if you do, you'll begin acting outside their script. You'll break free. You'll become someone who lives differently. And then they'll have to either wake up themselves or watch their version of reality collapse. This is where resistance begins. Pain wrapped in care. You're not brought down by enemies. You're brought down by those who smile, who care, who love. And that's why you don't defend yourself. You don't see how the system uses their words to pull you back into the old frame. You don't understand why after a phone call with your brother, aunt, or cousin, you feel empty. Why you no longer want to create, dream, or move forward. You just want to disappear. That's the effect. You're under control again. Back in place. Just like them. Don't wait for permission. Relatives may be warm, kind, sincere. But as long as they live by the program, they will unconsciously hold you back. You can't find yourself while waiting for their approval. You won't awaken while filtering every thought through their reaction. Your soul was not made for someone else's comfort. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you were in silence? Not silence without sound, but silence without other people's voices. Silence from constant opinions, from pressure, from judgment. If you can't remember, you're not living your life. What to do? First, notice who brings the most noise into your life, who distracts you from being yourself, who always calls at the wrong moment, who subtly makes you feel like you're wrong. Second, stop explaining. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Your freedom is your right to live your way, without reports, without justifications. Third, create a space of silence for yourself, even 10 minutes a day and without anyone else's voice, where you hear yourself, where you feel, I exist. Because the moment you start to feel free, just breathe, slow down. Someone from your circle suddenly appears and says something like, are you doing nothing again? What are you even working on? Maybe you should get a real job. And even if it's said gently with no anger, it tightens you from the inside. It's like an invisible switch flips, and suddenly you're no longer yourself. You think it's just stress or irritation, but in truth, it's the pendulum, a being, connected to you. And right now, it's feeding. The pendulum is not an abstraction. It's a living system woven into reality. It hides behind personality, habits, even people around you. But its goal is simple, to extract your energy. How? Through provocation, through expectations, through your automatic reactions. It cannot exist without you. You are its source. Every time you get irritated, offended, or feel the need to justify yourself, you feed it, not with words, but with attention. Your pain is its food, your guilt, its dessert. Why do pendulums act through your loved ones? Because you trust them most. They know where to press. They trigger the strongest emotional response. And right where your heart is open, the entity enters. You come to them hoping for understanding, and instead, sarcasm, pressure, doubts. You don't understand why you feel worse after talking to family. They're plugged into the game just like you. But what speaks to you through them is not love. It's the program. A program that feeds on your inner light. This entity lives in your habits. The fear of being judged, the habit of enduring, the role of the good daughter, the decent son, the normal family member. That automatic guilt every time you choose yourself. You don't even notice how many decisions you make, not because you want to, but because that's how it's supposed to be. It's easier for everyone that way. And every time you betray yourself to fit in, the entity inside claps its hands. You are not meant to be a battery. Entities can't take your energy without your participation. They need you to agree, to join the game, to believe that something is wrong with you. But you can choose differently. You can remain silent when they expect explanations. Observe when you want to explode. Pause when the pendulum pulls you into old drama. Leave when your soul whispers, enough. It's hard sometimes just to be, without wanting to justify, without that tension in your stomach, without the shame of feeling too good, without the guilt for not doing more for others. But that's your answer. Entities feeding on your energy survive only through low-frequency emotions, shame, guilt, fear, anger, and most of all, through your self-justification. You don't just feel the emotion, you start explaining it away. Maybe I'm a bad person. I let them down again. I never do anything right. And that's it. You're already in the trap. Your energy isn't going toward your life or creativity. It's powering the virus embedded in your thinking. Entities can't create, they can only steal. And the only way to feed is to keep you in a loop of justification. How does it happen? You're in a good place, you've got a plan, you're inspired, and suddenly, a message, a comment. You only care about yourself now. You're so selfish. You're doing nothing again, and you say, maybe they're right, maybe I went too far. Connection established. You're back in reaction. The entity is full. You are drained. But there is a way out, and it's within you. You don't need to explain why you're alive. You don't need to be perfect. You don't owe anything to anyone, unless it comes from love. When you stop playing the game, the guilt, the shame, the justification, the stream is interrupted. You begin to act from stillness, and that infuriates the system, but that's how you become free. Now ask yourself, how many times did you want to do something, but then stop to wonder what others might think? That's the moment you gave your energy away. Not to the person, but to the system, the entity, the pendulum, the game. It grows every time you doubt yourself, and disappears when you say, this is my path, I don't need to explain it to anyone. Now imagine this. You act because you want to. You speak because you feel it. You live because you can. And in this silence, in this conscious I am, no one can reach you anymore. You are no longer food. You are the master of your reality. Relatives are the perfect method to drain you, to make you activate the self-destruct program without even realizing it. Their pendulum, your trap, when they start to swing, love, then guilt, then anger, then care, you're already inside. The pendulum is at work, the entity connected to your attention. Every time you try to help, to explain, to save them, you just swing the pendulum harder. But there is one rule. When the pendulum weakens, its power returns to you. When you stop giving energy, the entity leaves. When you choose yourself, reality begins to shift. What to do? Don't fight. Don't blame. Don't explain. Just remember who you are. Return your attention inward. Hear your own thoughts. Feel your own desires. Trust your own sensations. And don't trade them, even for familial love. True love doesn't require you to lose yourself. Real closeness doesn't ask you to sacrifice who you are. If you have to disappear in order to stay close, it's not love, it's a program. You don't need to be convenient. You don't need to be good. You need to be alive. Because only then can you truly shine, and only then will others awaken beside you. Thank you for walking this path, for your strength, even in weakness, for your honesty, even in doubt, and for seeking not just answers, but your true self. See you in the next video. May the light within you always remain, and may no entity ever again dim it from the world. Until next time.